thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought their length, their size, physicality, I knew that was going to be a challenge. Never mind, that's who they are as a team. Coming off of playing last night back-to-back, it was going to be a lot. And, I thought there was some moments that were really positive for our team, not consistent enough, and in particular in the defensive end of the floor. Obviously they started big. We knew that. We've been starting 4 guards the last several games. But I think we could have communicated better, even to the start of the game. And that's not to sit there and say that we would have stopped them on those possessions, but we certainly it contributed, to them scoring. And then there was other periods of time where we did a really good job. I thought early in the game we didn't really generate a lot of threes. I thought we got a little stagnant, and then kind of as the game went on, we started to generate and manufacture a little bit more. It's just against a team like that, you got to be more consistent.
Coach, you have preached communication all season long. You've been very consistent with this theme. Is it difficult to coach that, or does that come from within a player that he has it just in his DNA?
I think sometimes when things are happening fast, guys at times can be like a little bit unsure, so they don't say anything, or there's stuff being said and we're not following the command, well enough. And I don't want to make it seem like it's happening all the time, but it's happening too much, quite honestly. And we've got to be a better talking team. And it's hard to play defense if you're not going to talk. And in particular, when there's screening actions and multiple players coming together inside of actions, because these players are smart. Sometimes they screen, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they slip. Sometimes they try to get under and create a switch to seal. Like, there's a lot of things that go on. There's got to be a higher level of communication. And we try to practice it and work on it, even though we haven't had practice time. When we go through our, scouting reports and we're walking through stuff, whether it's a day like today in a ballroom, but it's just totally different than when the game's going on, and I think we all, have got to do a better job there.
Lonzo, what do you see out of him?
He's great. I mean, it's amazing to me. I'm absolutely amazed. Played 3 games, missed whatever it was, 16 games. He goes out and he just impacts the game, with his defense, his hands. He had a couple plays I know he wished he would have had back, but just the confidence to shoot the ball when he's open. It was really good to have him back. I think he's going to help us, and I give him a lot of credit for the work that he put in to get himself back ready to play, that he can come out the first night out and play as well as he did in a limited amount of time.
One more, just Dalen Terry, what's
stepped on? I think Vooch's ankle came down. It's an ankle sprain. I'm probably not going to know how severe. They don't feel like it's severe, but he was certainly pretty sore after it.
Coach, Magic got some balanced scoring tonight, but talk about Franz Wagner. His season, I think last week, Player of the Week. Talk about what you've seen from afar this year.
Well, I give him a lot of credit, from the perspective of Banchero. To me, is a great player, and I'm not taking anything away from him, or Franz. They're both great players. But, the adjustment period of sometimes Banchero, his usage, and rightfully so, and the fact that, Franz can still function and really be efficient inside. And I know Jamal's probably working really hard to balance everything, for those guys offensively. But then when Banchero goes out, there's a different kind of role that he's got to play. So I think it speaks to his overall talent, ability, and it probably speaks, a lot to his IQ as well.
Lastly, for me, Zach didn't really score the ball much, but you got 10 assists from him tonight. Has he been more of a distributor of late?
Yeah, the one thing with Zach that I really have always respected and appreciated is he's got a huge reputation as a scorer, and rightfully so, because he's one of the best scorers and efficient scorers. But he really tries to play the game the right way. And if the game dictates and calls for him to pass, he's going to do it. And I think to your point, if him have 10 assists, it means that, there's a lot of attention on him, and there's a lot of help to him, and he's finding the open man, and he probably could have had a lot more. We started off the game not shooting it great. But I just think that he's probably somebody, in my opinion, doesn't get enough credit for his vision, because he's such a great scorer. People don't really see sometimes how well and how unselfish he is as a player.
Coach, you've often said you don't need to score to make an impact in a game. Jonathan Isaac, give me an idea of how he impacted tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean, he's just really, really long. Just watching him on film, just very, very bright in terms of seeing things happening and recovering and covering for other guys. I think plays to his strengths, takes shots when they're there, doesn't really force anything. I think an elite multi-positional defender, can guard a point guard and can go all the way down and guard a center. Can also rim protect, and can get it off the glass and obviously make a shot. So I know he's battled some injuries over a period of time, but he's a unique player because of his versatility.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.